Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. And thank you in advance for giving me a time to listen and to uh, participate to my invitation. I am Mami Bruna Arsandaniaina. I am originally from Madagascar, but now I am in my third year of Master of Divinity at the Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary in Berkeley. Um, I founded a Malagasy Women Association called Empower Malagasy Women, Zava-manahiran'ny Vehivavy, in March 2025. And since then, I worked with a retired pastor volunteer who is also my friend, John Stern, to give online English class for free to Malagasy women in Madagascar. Um, we will celebrate the graduation of the second class this Friday, October 31st, at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Zoom. So we would like to invite you to join us by Zoom this Friday, October 31st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The second invitation is to invite you to also be part of this activism, feminist activism we started for Malagasy women. I started my theology study 10 years ago. It was 2015, when I just graduated from my engineer study in computer science, but I was also a member of the Lutheran World Federation Council member from 2010 to 2017. I realized that my youth participation representing the African youth to the Lutheran World Federation Council meeting and all the levels of participation. I attended seminaries, meetings, council, project around environment, women's rights, child's rights, women empowerment, trained me to be an an activist for Malagasy women. That's why I decided to start my theology study in Madagascar to learn how to be more active to empower the Malagasy women in Madagascar. I've learned the feminist movement that started from the USA, the first wave of white feminist activists who did the political and social activism for women's rights. And I realized like policies and women's rights don't really make sense in Madagascar. So I explored more from the Asian feminist, which focus more on academic activism, transnational feminist activism, and decided to study theology and use feminist theories and feminist theology as a tool to help Malagasy women. This is not the 10th year, and I still couldn't really do anything for Malagasy women because feminist theology is really new and pushed back by many patriarchal ecclesiastical committees in Madagascar. Another reason why I needed to pursue my theology study abroad, because I didn't even have professor or teacher who can advise me and lead my research in that field in Madagascar. Then have learned about Miorista theology from the Latin American women related to the liberation theology. They used the Bible to liberate women in the Latin America. And then I started Bible studies online about the women in the Bible in Malagasy for the Malagasy women. But first, internet is really expensive in Madagascar. Only few women can pay themselves to watch the Bible studies online. And since it is a new way, a new approach, a new activism for Malagasy women feminists, it did not really work very well. And then I look back to my African women feminists who work with post-colonial approach of feminism and realize that the Malagasy culture is also destroyed by the European colonization. So I could not really use any of these tools, or maybe combine them all and come out with a new idea, which is a caring activism, meaning trying to heal the Malagasy women from trauma first, trying to remind them that Malagasy women are worth of care and love like other women in the world. So I started with my friend John Stern online English class, which consists of 16 lessons, trying to remind these women their value, their character, look back on their past, and have a better optimist view of their future. We start to introduce what is trauma, healing, advocacy, and feminism with 16 English lessons online. And we did that with joy and uh, a lot of empowerment from these Malagasy women too. So we started our first class February this year to May. They graduated. We had in the beginning 100 women who were interested to the class, but at the end, only 15 graduated because it was hard to pay for the internet to join the class twice a week. So the second class, which started in August and will graduate this Friday on October 31st, 2025, I tried to figure out how to help them with the internet cost. So the Student Association of my seminary, the Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary, offered us 2,000 US dollar to support these women with internet, phone, and laptop so they can attend the class. But with the 2,000, we can only help materially, meaning with 2 phones and 2 laptops, 4 of the students, and provided internet weekly for the other students who already had a cell phone or a computer to join the class. But then we started with 50 students in August, and only 10 will graduate this Friday, October 31st. So we look back again, discuss about it with Reverend Dr. John Sturr, and we realize that caring is not something we can only do twice a week. We need to spend more time with these women. We need to give them more than just reflections, monologue and dialogues and English vocabularies to really take care of them. So we plan from the future classes to offer them 5 days a week accompaniment, healing process, and discussions in English to care for these Malagasy women. That is why we call it caring activism through online English class. And 2 of us, he's a retired pastor. I am a single full-time mother and a full-time in-person student. I need to work hard to pay for my rent and my school and living expenses. So we realized that we cannot really commit ourselves and just leave our job to take care of these Malagasy women. So the idea that came to us is we cannot do this alone. We need people support, people around us to support us financially so we can fully commit our time to prepare the class, accompany these women, have some one-on-one meeting, and start discussing about the Bible studies about women. I started since last year, and now I've done 20 Bible studies about women from the Old Testament to the New Testament in the Bible. So we will continue working with these women, not only during the 3 month, twice a week English class, but with Bible studies together, accompaniment, one-on-one meeting, and getting to know them better. So we will commit more of our time. We plan to leave the other job that keeps us busy and also work with Malagasy people in Madagascar to provide them support from there. So we have 4 people who worked from the beginning of the Empower Malagasy Women Association. I founded and now volunteering to be the executive director with these 4 executive staffs in Madagascar. It already have a board who volunteer for the association, but we need financial support for 2 of us here in the US and the 4 people staff in Madagascar who will accompany the 8 volunteer board to offer continuing regular one-on-one and group care for these Malagasy women. So from this year's Thanksgiving to the end of the years, if you are thinking about Thanksgiving act and Christmas gift to Malagasy people, we invite you to participate to our goal to empower Malagasy women through caring activism by this online discussion, class, and empowerment by sending us your regular or one-time support, financial support to allow us to commit ourselves and start the new English class caring activism group from January 2026 and share with us this mission to empower the Malagasy women in Madagascar. Thank you in advance and blessings to each one of you.